Belgium. By the way, 116, the Alpine Advisory Board meeting for the April the 20th, 2022. Has commenced. And we have 3 members present that constitutes a quorum. No public for comments. We need to approve the minutes of the previous board meeting, which was the 16th of February, 2022. Have those been reviewed by you folks?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. And all in favor? Item 5 is discuss and consider financials. Abel's going to talk to us about that.
Okay, I actually had I have 2 copies of the bill for the end of the year, or for the October.
Is that what you emailed?
No, I sent the February and March.
Okay, so I've got the email copy.
Okay, yeah, those are the newest ones. Okay. I don't know if you want the copy of the old, or the old, the last year's. It's up to you. I can make print another one. I thought I had
Last.
yeah.
Any outstanding
Well,
differences?
yeah, the only thing is the CIP portion. So it doesn't show the amounts taken out, so it shows that there's more revenue than expenses. Which is the capital improvements that we take out. That's set aside, and I think the one that was the big one. 90. The 52 that was supposed to be for the lighting project. Because from the last year's.
So this is the line item 5,600.
Yes,
2008.
586, yes. Because this year would be the 42,400 to make the total up to the 95 that we have to for the construction phase of the lighting project. Just later on.
Is that on what you emailed where it says encumbered is the 52,586 from this last year? Is that?
Yeah. That's, I guess.
So that one's already been paid.
We have it there. I don't know if they've asked for a payment yet, but we have the money. But we had to have the 102, well, which was the 7,200 was for the design phase that we had to for that project, which is already paid. That was already paid. Because that was 10% for that also. So it was originally 72,000.
On overall fuel cells, I know we're only partially way in, but compared to last year, do you see it higher, lower? or-
Actually, she had the last night's meeting. They had it. I didn't get that part. I want to say that she was showing it was a little bit higher, but I think the expense was also higher.
I think budgeted for this year was 403,000,
Mhm.
410, and last year, 431,000. Line item 2,000.
Down the-
That copy you just sent.
Oh, okay, okay.
Says
I was thinking,
December of 21.
yes, yes.
I think year to date as of now, we're at 291, 280.99, or as of March. So we're already over half
Mhm.
the revenue. And
And
what,
you're looking at the 331, correct? Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't get
the income?
the income portion. This was actually the expense one.
All right, that makes sense.
I think for next one, we could probably do both, make it easier to compare with. But she usually sends us this for our records. So we can see what our budgets look like for supplies and maintenance, facility maintenance, equipment, license fees. That's so we can keep track of it, all the departments.
Yeah, because if we could see what the income is, the expense.
That's why I was thrown off. Like, I thought it was both, and I was like,
Yeah, no, the end of the year one, the first one I gave you. was-
yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Have any more questions?
James, do you have any more questions?
I know, I'd like to see the income report.
Also,
So we can see where we are,
Okay.
what we're doing.
So item 6, do we have any communications? I don't know.
no. That was kind of one that, subject that we needed to probably focus on a little more with communications, also with the airport staff, me and Ryan included, from, from tenants, the leases, or even, sub-leases. I want to say, I put down questions, permissions, but it's not really permissions per se, like, whatever I decide, that's it. It's mainly to have input and to have questions asked, hey, or even informative, we're gonna be doing this. Is it all right if we just, leave these work trucks here for a couple of days? Because a lot of it's been passed over and we're not getting informed of anything until after the fact.
Inform
Of anything,
from who?
different people, individuals.
The leases?
Also, yes. And so I think the communication probably needs to go both ways. And better, better communication also. It might not, we might want to not want to know just to say, to argue a point. We might want to know just because, I don't know if you can do that, let me check. When we had the guys with the CBP for the awning, they got a little bit ahead of themselves, they put all their materials out there. They had still done the paperwork. I got calls for the material, hey, what are they doing over there? It's like, well, they're wanting to get an awning built. But like I said, they got ahead of themselves and put out the material, so people had questions. That way I can answer them, and be like, if I didn't know they were doing it, I'd be like, I don't know what it is, it's just there. I have to go find out.
Anything with the feds?
No, there was no issue with that. I did, however, have, the people that were gonna work on it did have a question also. The guy said, hey, I need to look at the plans, and I said, well, I got them in the office. If not, he would have built it with supporting beams,
Yeah,
which was never presented.
right.
See, so stuff like that might be an issue that comes up.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's what we were concerned about.
Exactly, exactly. And that's where they said, no, it's just gonna be a slogan, but I mean, you know, but if he hadn't asked, we were, you know, I wouldn't have been able to tell him anything. And when they first laid out their stuff, you know, Mr. Stevens was questioning, well, how's that plane gonna get through the aero, medevac? Aero care, you know, he's, I got a plane back there. I mean, he didn't know, those were the first people I talked to. Cause that would be, they were the ones, the main ones that go back there, or the bigger aircraft that uses it. You know, or there could be questions about, you know, different things, maybe you can't do that, or maybe you can't have this at the airport, or construction wise, you know, we're gonna build some stuff, you know, we'll pick up the material later on. Or we'll move this, which is fine. But if it's, you know, say, even the guys that were doing the taxiway, they left some little divider or safety little not phones, but barrier, the little barrier, the short barriers. I don't know if you saw them by the hangar over there. Yeah, I mean, they left those there and say, hey, mind if we leave them there? You know, just for, we'll come back from them in a couple of months. They're still, the project's still ongoing, but we'll talk about that later. You know, so there's a lot of little things. It's not just me deciding yes or no. I think a lot of people are misinformed like that. And they think I'm the one deciding, oh, you can do this, you can't do that. You know, there's other things to look at. But I think if the ECs or tenants, even their subleasers, get when, oh, you don't have to worry about them. They can't do it. It's like, well, kind of defeating the purpose of just being up there. I had one individual say, oh, well, you don't have any authority, don't worry about it. I said, well, I kind of do. You don't have to listen to him. Well, you might, yeah, I mean, you don't have to, I can't force you to listen, but, you know, I can tell you something. Or ask, inquire. A lot of people, individuals don't like being asked or questioned. Because they, oh, you're attacking. No, it's also for my benefit, so I won't speculate. Because if I'm doing speculating, then my imagination is good. I can dream up all kinds of stuff, you know. There's, it's endless what you can come up with if you just sit there by yourself and speculate. So it's kind of, that's what I'm saying, it's kind of a two-way street. You know, to give me a little information, in case somebody else comes and asks, or if somebody had the same issue before, I could say, oh, well, we couldn't do this with this person. So I don't know if we could do, you know, it's still allowed. So I do think the communication needs to be a little better. Yeah, the other day, Kaden told me in writing, hey, you know, it looks like somebody busted out a window in one of the taxis. Maybe the loader hit, loader or something hit. We went and cleaned up the glass as soon as we found out. You know, we might not see it, but we don't go through that area. For, you know, we might go around or see something else. You know, so it's still got to be local. Or I had a guy running the fence line yesterday. So hey, got a big old piece of plastic. So out there, you might want to go pick it up. Might be playing some issues. Sure enough, it was pretty good size. I have construction plastic. I don't know. Flew over the fence. It probably got carried over the fence. Yeah. Which is also things you can take care of. So that's where I think communication needs to get a little better, or even passed on. You know, that we're there not just to argue something or question, you know, maybe it's to get information and even help assist. You know? So I just thought I'd throw that out there just so everybody, you know, it's nothing I'm trying to go after anybody, you know, or Riley's trying to stir some pot or something. You know, it's We're there at the airport, that's what we do, and that's what we want to try and do. When we're not being told about things or made aware of it, it's like, oh, we'll just let it happen. Which is kind of what brought issues up previously. Nothing's being done out there, they're not doing this, they're not doing that.
So has there been any, desktop meetings or
There's still,
design meetings for projects or selection?
the last meeting was, one for. So they haven't completed this, they haven't finalized the seal code one way, because since we're part of a whole group. So they're still, we had a meeting yesterday, and all they do is they just update me on Ozona and Marfa, because those weren't completed, those projects weren't completed at all. Or not yet. Then there was a delay and then the weather and stuff, so they're actually in the process of still completing those projects, which works out for us. Works out for us because the warranty doesn't begin until after the project is completed.
Have you had on the date?
I couldn't, no, they're still working on something. Which I mean, I'm still like, well, finalize at the end of the year, so get that whole extra year. To have something covered in case something happens.
There's nothing impacted at the airport now because of this.
No, sir. No, not with us.
How about leases? Can you do a reason?
No, nothing. I've only had questions about wanting to build for one of the, not AeroCare, it's another flight service that wanted this space aircraft. Gave them the paperwork. And he said, well, we need to go get something. I said, there, you could maybe find somebody that's an hangar.
We got the paperwork back again.
No, sir, no. Yeah, they just picked up, I mean, we gave him a package. He was asking about it. And he said, it was even, he even mentioned, so why don't the company remind you to build
Like there,
if you're here enough? It's not the same one that's out.
yeah, that's zero.
Yeah, so it's a different company. So they've been, I guess the hospital uses a lot of, well, it depends, which one's available. I think
Was
it's,
it Eddie Bear that come in all
it might. But they actually, they wanted to see about playing on site. It'd be good, but
Border reports to the city council.
and I think that's, I kind of mentioned to Isabel on this. 'Cause I wasn't sure if she meant that was the, airport board report. So
that. That's
that's
what it is, but
that's what she said, yeah, so
what
this,
the report that we're supposed to do or something.
yeah, or just inform them of what you're working on to the council. So what they did was they had all the boards and commissions, they'll pick a date, or they'll add them to the agenda. And, it's the main board, or the head of the board,
So they haven't done that yet.
not that I'm, no, not for the airport. So it might be coming up soon. But what they want is just to give a brief discussion of what the airport's board's working on, what's going on and what they do. So. But it's not just the airport, it's all the commissions, all of it.
Yeah.
Parks, planning and zoning also has something.
So you'll be updating and amending the airport rules and regulations.
So actually, that was gonna be part of the airport board also. I wanted to include them in that. With our current one. So then. Because it is a little bit older. And there's a few things that probably have come up that need to be changed or altered or, updated. But I figured.
That's not scheduled yet.
No, sir, that would be with us, or you, or the board also, and me. We could even set up some kind of workshop to discuss it, each each one and line and say, we'll start from one and go through the whole thing, or, I mean, you could even print out the rules and regulations and make your own.
When would you want to do that?
That'd be up to you guys also. If, I mean, we could start on it separate from the board meeting,
Instead of a workshop?
or, and like I said, you could set it up where, you know, we can do so many at a time, look at so many items at a time. Or we'll say, oh, we'll look at this section first, and we'll,
So
you
what,
know, put your ideas together.
so what's driving the discussion of the airport rules and regulations?
To update it. It's a little bit older.
Does TxDOT have kind of a template or something that we can go by?
Have you seen, I don't know if have you seen our old, I mean, you can even use that as a
I know
template.
sometimes they come up with new updates and stuff that they kind of like, you know, for the federal funding airports. Kind of like that.
Yeah, and, see, we have our own already. I don't know if anybody's ever, you should have received, it's available online.
Yeah, I've got a copy of
Yeah, we have it.
And, yeah, and usually I send it out, for,
that. I have was 2011. Well, yeah, I think, looks like
references 2011.
so November 2nd of 2011. I assume that's the last
Yeah.
updated date.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's on the bottom, it says May 20th of 2011, so it's an 11-year-old document.
There's a few things change, you know, or we might want to add something else to it. And like I said, we could go item by item, or we can just,
Yeah, we need to. review it.
everybody could just do
We
the,
need to review
yeah,
it.
well, it'll be written out, it'll be done, and then we actually have to turn it into the. Once we decide, you know, hey, this is what we want to turn into the council and see if we'll send it and get it approved, and I think our copy will come out better than the one that's online. I don't know if that one still comes out, looks a little harsh. You got a picture of one of the pages?
Yeah, it's maybe a little crooked, but it's pretty clear. You can
Yeah.
Still read it.
Yeah, it's just a little,
Yeah, a little off. You guys
which
can,
I was like, well, you know, maybe we need to
looks
add
like
a few things to it.
Jerry Johnson was the mayor. Okay, it looks like red passed was adopted by city council on the 15th day of November 2011.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he hadn't been there for a while.
So Rod Ponton was still the city attorney.
Yeah. So we might get him, we might still have his name on it. We'll have a different mayor, but we'll have his.
Item number 9 pertains to the taxiway in front of the DPS hangar.
That would be the responsibility of the hangar owner.
So the hangar owner leases that.
So which hangar owner? There's 2 hangars.
If you can split it, it would be both of them, yeah. I guess it would be like the little, you know, how you extended yours out, and then yours has that back area. It would kind of be considered like that,
Approach.
yeah, the approach for. Because it's like, when Ryan told me, was if something's parked there, you know, you can't come out of your hangar, block the hangar entry, so that's not.
And TxDOT actually advised you on that, right? They
Yeah,
actually came
Ryan,
up with
yeah,
that.
that's his name, Ryan. Because he was looking into it, he said, I'll see what I can do, and maybe we'll get that worked in the project, and he said, no, that's gonna happen. The thing is, it's not a big area, like you said, there's that other hangar that's right,
Now, there was
I've never seen that one open, but I don't, somebody's there.
there was discussion many years ago, that there was a crane that set up there in that particular area where they're having the divots and everything. And they loaded one of the A-Star helicopters for Border Patrol onto a trailer because it was disabled, and they took it elsewhere to be serviced or worked on, but there was.
And that's what caused it.
That's what it caused the initial divots, and of course, weather and erosion, water got in them.
I wasn't aware of that.
Process works.
See, that's always good to know. Yeah.
There was
he
some discussion years ago, I think even before I was on the board, you know, so this is a long time ago. that company would come in and repair that. I remember Kip Angel was kind of heading that campaign. It just kind of went away. Nobody just picked it up.
In fact, I'll even ask him about that.
Yeah, if you talk to Kip, ask him, he'll know the company, and because they were a subcontractor for Customs and Border Patrol. And that's what caused the initial problem. It's not a real great taxi to begin with. That's what really made the big divots that they give the guys so much trouble when they're trying to move their helicopter. So you know, it may be too long ago to do anything, but I know there was some discussion years ago about.
Or pay for that. I think if we had taken care of that then, it might have been.
Well, you know,
Now they could argue, it wasn't that bad.
things get talked about, but then
Yeah.
don't follow. And then, you know, it wasn't as bad then, you know, a little bit. But when water got
Even
into
time,
the
yeah.
sets, and it just gets worse over time.
Jimmy, he didn't answer, so. I don't think he's gonna make it, he's not even. Yeah, but yeah, that was the issue there too, and then. We should probably ask them to ask. Catherine also.
I briefly spoke to her about it, and,
Is she even aware?
well, at first she wasn't really aware of whose responsibility it was. And, I think that was after you and I had talked about TechStop, saying that's the hangar owner's responsibility. And then she said she would like to pursue, since it is her responsibility, to pursue some of the crane operators or something to see if she could. get anything out of it.
Where? Yeah, and they're not asking for that. I mean, for that full area, there's
Just
a
for the
certain
whole,
section where it just comes out there. Cause even, Jimmy, had said, well, it doesn't have to go where the other door finishes open. You know, he's like, you can come closer, cause we just need so much for that little cart.
Helicopter landing pad.
Almost finished. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it? Still, he said it would give it about 3 weeks, which is about close to 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
to let it cure.
Sure.
Yeah, let it fully cure.
But are they gonna build a ramp from there to the taxiway?
No, sir. That's just gonna be for them to take their little platforms. For the,
Well, what I'm saying is they can't get to the platform right now. It's out there, it's isolated, or surrounded by dirt. They're gonna have to build a ramp up to it or something. They're gonna use some kind of cargo.
oh, they're gonna taxi in through the side, or through that open right there.
To the ramp.
Yes,
To the helicopter pad.
Yes.
They're gonna build a ramp to the helicopter.
It's attached to
I think on the
So,
south,
yeah.
on the south side, it is.
It is attached?
On the
yes, sir,
south
yeah,
side.
yeah.
Now, on the north, east, and west.
Yeah, it's not
open.
touching.
But on the south side, there's the hangar, I think they do.
All right.
So it's more, yeah, it's more for them. to
They had
just
done that.
roll it with their little platforms. So the little platforms that they usually leave out there,
Yeah.
they're actually gonna be on that. So they can just do it, and the,
I just had a question, about communications, but, so since they built that, can I land my helicopter there?
I asked him, I did ask him that. I said,
I don't need to, but I'm just wondering, can I?
Well, I asked the guy, I said, this is just the question, I said, do you use a green paint to signify that there's CBP?
Exclusively
Yeah,
for
I go, how does that work?
Yeah.
Well, there's markings, he's all, but, so.
Flying land there.
Yes, see that?
I think that's where they're supposed to land.
Yeah, that's why I asked him, I go, is there special markings that they put to show that it's designated only for? But, I'll make sure they, you would think they would have something so that people would know not to. Right.
I mean, the other day I flew in and I saw it, like it was finished.
Yeah, let me try it out, yeah. Did you click it on?
No, I didn't try it.
Yeah, so the lights already work.
They were, I saw them on, they were.
Yeah. We were playing with them the last time, just to see. He was showing us. They come on, he goes, yeah, we'll put the markings after the 3 weeks. So right now you can't, you don't want to put nothing heavy on it. So it's fully cured, you know, but tell me like 3 weeks. But yeah, I gotta look more into that, but I did have that same question, it's how does the public know it's not for anyone?
Have to put a VPN on it or something.
Yes, yes. Or leave your platforms stationed at a water.
It'll be interesting to see how they incorporate that. That was originally set up for those UVs. They didn't think they were too heavy for the platforms. So really, they don't even need it anymore.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's, it's like that. It was 8 inches. The slab.
I noticed they didn't do any footings, which I guess on just a normal pad, you do not need to do footings if you're not doing a vertical structure.
There's no load around the edges.
So
Just
just
beams underneath the walls. That's the way to do it.
just being that it's no walls.
And they compacted pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I think it took, that took like 2, 3 months. It shouldn't.
Yeah, the base, they did wall, it's probably 2 or 3 times more work on the base than the actual walls.
So that's the zoning board.
So that board is a county city board. Has to be
Right.
collected.
Yeah.
Collected.
About the county, we heard anything from them?
From the county, so I don't know if there's an issue with the city.
Been going on forever.
But that's all the time.
Somebody in the county's supposed to be on the board. They don't seem to want to divvy up.
They're not pushing. Maybe we're too.
Figure 32.
We completed the door repair. It's
They
operational.
just rebuilt that whole door.
Completely replaced. Yeah. The original door was.
I couldn't figure out what that little triangle was there. Not very-
That's funny, it was asking.
The counter section.
Yeah, yeah, the counterweight or whatever, but that was to support that door when it's
Yeah.
open. If you push a button, hydraulically opens and closes. Much better situation. So we'll repair. We've got a little bit of material, I think the old sheet metal is out west of the hangar. We've got to haul that off. So, contractors haul off all the trash, but I wanted that sheet metal. So I've got all that. Other,
Kept keep it secure.
it's got vice grips all the way
Where the
around it.
wind-
Keep it
Yeah,
from
no, I
blowing.
saw that.
But it's good sheet metal, we're gonna use it till, I've got to get that all out.
We said, Houston, 100 years ago, when they were building the Astrodome, and the convention center next to it, so it had all that cheap up on the roof. The wind came up, that stuff was coming off like a big orange ball, and it was all scary. Hundreds of just sheets gone everywhere.
The updates on paving of the taxiway.
That's actually, so. It went back out for bid. Since the bids had come in too high, because it was gonna be done with the project out at. Behind the mountain. Country Club Estates. So they were doing some of that road, and they were trying to incorporate this project along with that to be together. And so the bidding came out higher than what they wanted. Like it was outrageous for even out there. Jared had not submitted a bid at that time the first time, so they put it back out for bids. And then Jared came back and he got the bid for the one out there. They didn't accept the one for the airport, which is going to be in to negotiate the price. Because when you originally submitted, or what we had originally asked for the first time, came out with seven, 72.
That's been well over here.
So, yeah, so we gonna try and negotiate that down further. I did talk to him last night and I asked him about to send me the specs, if he send me the specs of how wide. You know, how much area, because he told me how much it was gonna be.
Mr. Jarrett was that talk?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I spoke to him after the meeting. And I said, well, if you could send me a map or just send me your specs on how wide it's gonna be. Because to inquire about your question, if it was in, and he said from where Kate's little approach area and then where your little concrete, he said, yeah, when we measured it, it was gonna be that far. Because I mentioned to him that you were willing to fork over for the rest of the little connection, depending on, you know, the price that you would take care of it. So he said it was supposed to be the full.
So he did take it.
He said the full length was supposed to, but, like I said, negotiations, hopefully that he doesn't bring it closer.
So is there any leeway on the city side, as far as the budget, because, his costs have gone up a lot in the last year with that record.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what he was actually telling me that, yeah, 'cause I said, because when I did explain to him, I said, I said, I told Margaret that you go ahead and do however much you needed for free, you throw that in there. He's like, no, that's. I go, I'm just kidding with you. I go, he's willing to take care of, you know.
But he bid on the specified square footage. So we do a little math and we figure out where the extent of what the city was proposing to be done.
Well, that's what's gonna be discussed. Because they, you know, I guess it was too much of an increase. Then the council was like, oh, okay, we'll vote on this. And even the country club is not, they're not getting their full pay, they're gonna actually do those in years. 1 year so far, next year.
Do you know what the price per square foot was on the?
I couldn't even tell you how
I
much.
wonder how
I didn't look at
compares
that.
if it's the same.
It might be on the council agenda packet.
He said the price was $75,000.
I think he changed 72 or 70. Is what it increased to.
About every 33,000. But then that's going up by there.
It's not what it used to be.
So the 72,000 was for the airport only.
That's $2.18.
I'm like,
Oh, no, it was 13,000 square feet.
uh,
I think it was, so 72,000 divided by 13. That's
Right.
553, that's 13,000. And the previous bid was,
60 something.
do you remember there was another,
64,000 less.
well, in between the last time the RFP went out, there was another vendor that bid on it.
Yeah, that
Bid
was,
like
that one was way too,
40
they
years.
said they weren't even,
That included the country club states.
Oh, were those, was it?
they were trying to
seg-
get both of them.
I think it was segregated.
Sure, I thought they would have a copy.
For the airport, on the previous vendor before this last go around was 143,000 for the 13,500 square feet. So he came in at almost half. of the previous vendor.
And so
State based map.
yeah, and the actual, the item last night was to, award contract paid for country clubs to Jared Bellwork and authorize the manager to negotiate proposal for the paving of taxiway. The request for proposals issued for paving services not to exceed 60,000. So I guess we're gonna negotiate 59,999.
No negotiations, they said.
Yeah,
But the net cost would only be 30,000. Well, it would be 35, some change.
Oh, Mr. Jared,
Well, if they receive the text up. They'll have to front for 72,000. They have to cash flow that. However many months. That's all it takes to reimburse. So it would be under the 60,000. Was that 60,000?
well, we have to actually pay for it.
So
I
you
mean,
would-
you'd still have to account for it all now.
Oh, yeah, upfront.
That's why I'm saying, that. That's why we're looking at it, like, that's how much. it's-
Right. This is the council understanding. That we should reimburse 50%.
I don't know if that was discussed. That was the action item.
So the cost of the city would be.
Yeah.
I need to know that.
36,000.
Yeah.
Would be well under the 60,000. You know, they're thinking, well, this is 60,000, there's a difference between costing 60,000 and costing 60,000 for a few months. If you reimburse for that, but pretty significant.
'Cause I know the CIP plan that we had, you know, it was like do 10, 10, 10 each year, the final year, we 20. That's good. I mean, that would take a couple of years.
5 or 6.
So I think that's why they kind of.
We're gonna talk about hangar 32 again.
No, that was in
Anything else
there,
y'all need to know?
that was in there on accident.
Okay, so there are noise complaints.
Just that one, or you got another?
No, he actually,
I think it would be the same instance, but we were both.
yeah, he told me about one, some that filled up. I don't even think we were there, that it was on Sunday or something. He flew out. And then I did get one in later on, at a AeroCare helicopter, flying and get some fuel. And I got a call later on, but then flying out. They went to the back to the hospital and.
So the call.
So he wasn't but he wasn't able to get the tail number. when
The
it flew
calls
by.
coming from one person.
Yes, yes. And seems to be strictly helicopter.
But can we just take his name off of this when he comes to emergency, if we have a problem?
Or we'll get him on there.
Then we'll get a pickup truck out there and see if we can take care of it.
Yeah, I did think, I was like, well, it seemed to be focused more on helicopters.
It did seem very,
Huh.
very agitated, and he wanted to take some sort of legal action, I don't know what.
Yeah,
So you
I
don't
think you can talk to
pursue
the
it.
FAA about that, you can sue them,
I think he has.
they're responsible for the airspace.
Oh, yeah, he's called me, and I even called him and asked him, and he said, well, he doesn't own the airspace. So.
Oh, you don't need.
I said, well,
Referring to the FAA.
I go, well, he, and when I did mention, I go, well, he goes, I don't wanna call the FAA, because I know. Well, we can kind of control, but I can see,
Well, I'll have the FAA call you.
I give him your number.
He's asked for specific routes for helicopters.
Yes, changed.
Changed, and then, there's really not any official approach, you're just supposed to avoid the flow of mixing traffic.
You can't do that. Emergency situation or low fuel situation, they can't deviate.
So he had those two rooms, it was the one. And then the other one was from the arrow.
So you're thinking about a fly-in?
Yeah, well, that was still, open for ideas or any suggestions for times or, ideas, when to do it, what to have.
Yeah,
I'll put a chef's head on writing, have them cook some burger.
Me too.
Well done.
Full time of the year, I'm not sure, but that'd be in the fall now. Let's say October, September, October, cool down. And some kind of school, start getting down.
And from what I talked to Megan about, she said, oh, it's just to try and bring in pilots from other folks that don't. Stop here, they might. I think right now, if I go, fuel prices up, they might come by. I was looking at some earlier today and that's the Ford stock. I think is fun.
Well,
Some people like 20, 30 cents.
yeah, but time
Yeah.
you buy over
Oh, yeah. I think one was 40 something, so,
you know, I mean.
yeah.
You can do that for the client. You can do it for the
Yes.
discounts for the client. But you need
I'll
to
run
get
it
somebody
by
to do
You could do a fuel discount.
No, he's saying that's something to throw out.
So
I don't know if we can.
it. Feel discount for the client.
City council sets the price of the fuel, so they have to get their permission, right?
But we'll get their credit card.
Can you talk to us about the lighting replacement project?
Okay, that one. It's actually going to the commission in June. So they'll actually start advertising the project in July. So it got pushed down a little bit. With the pre-construction actually moving into August and September. The last time I spoke to them, this is like, they're hoping that's what it's, it doesn't get pushed further.
We don't know when they're gonna do the recap on the pipe,
No,
so. Each other.
What's the
we're
recap
using
on
to finalize the project.
So
Is that what you're saying? Just to sign off that it's checked out? Yeah, that was just to put the project is complete. It's finalized, and that's what I meant. Just the project.
So the works are done.
Yes, but it hasn't been marked as complete. It's a part of the same project.
noticed the other day, on Runway 5, approaching out, down, 14 to Runway 23, approaching 5, and there's going to be some.
I've already, yeah. So when they were actually doing the seal coating for 1.9, I actually thought that was, where I thought, oh, that's the one that actually worked on it. That one looked worse off. And then when they were doing this one, I actually showed them some cracks that they had. I said, hey, what do you think about this? And the guys said, well, do it. Let me speak to the project manager and you can fill in some of these. Since 1.19 wasn't, they said, man, that's probably the best one we've done so far. That's gonna have to be a totally different project. And we got a new airport planner for a different airport planner. The other guy's doing other stuff. They divided something. And they're actually coming at the first of next month, which that'll be, he's actually coming down here to the airport.
So on the meetings and inspections, that's 6 feet.
So that
We can mark that Tech dot is coming out here.
well, the planner is, so it's more like a meet.
Yeah, they,
Yeah, not to meet everybody, but just to, I think, become familiar with their. Or see what's going on, but I was gonna throw in I was actually wanting to take them out there and say, hey. What do you think we should start doing
What's he supposed to be?
May, the first week of May. I have it on my calendar to be honest. I think he was just gonna come say hi, but he's gonna turn.
Yeah.
Gonna try and turn it into a little, I'm gonna try and turn it into a,
Probably a good idea for a meeting.
take him around and see. What he's doing. Shake hands, not at the same time. So you have to put- I can let you know, hey, it's gonna be here, want to be in this hangar?
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, I jump around the hangars.
Well, what would you probably do?
Uh,
What do you think about it?
They was,
It was nothing on that yet. It's looking like it got pushed to 24, 25. I think we had it at one time 23, 24. I did look into the one you had showed me, what was it? The towers, what was it called? No, the AWAS. He had brought me a flyer of one.
there's a guy in, over Carolinas that's developed a complete AWAS system that can be put on site wherever you like.
It's mobile.
It could be mobile.
It's
It
pretty
also
good. Yeah, it could be more.
will be installed permanently. And the thing actually,
So it uses satellite.
is software controlled. It's a satellite and it actually monitors frequencies itself. And then-
Micro tower.
That's something like
Is it eligible?
It's still new and, I called them up to see the price. I mean, it looks. Just to ask, inquire questions about it. So it's still fairly new, but the price tag on it is still pretty good. It starts at 92,000.
Really?
And it needs something like 7 or 8 batteries that aren't included in that price.
Solar setup.
Yeah, it's got a solar.
So on item H, subparagraph B, the AWAS is going to cost $175,000.
Potentially for less than 100,000.
Yeah, now, this is, like I said, when I was questioning, they actually told me, Cleburne. Like, oh, yeah, it's safe from Cleburne. It's kind of interesting for, she's, so I said, well, I'll give her a call, because I'd spoken to her before. Charlotte, she runs the airport. And then she was like, I said, you know, I'm firing about this. She goes, yeah, she goes, I don't know why, but for some reason they're putting down that we're back. Really, that I am.
Oh, really?
She goes that we're kind of like promoting. No. She said it's still new and they're still, they
They're still
want,
looking into
they said,
this.
we'll, maybe the next time we update our AWAS, you know, but she goes, I want everything to be geeked out. She goes, and I don't like the fact that they're saying we're promoting it. I go, well, they actually told me Cleburne Airport. Okay, well, that's when I said, I'll find another person there. I'll give them a call. So that seemed kind of. She goes, yeah, you're not the first person to tell me.
So I received an advertisement in the mail. And I passed it on to Abel to keep on file in case that current AWAS quit working and can't be repaired. They get had to do something. And you would have that as record in your office there, so that I could then be able to propose some sort of lease. Without AWAS, then IFR traffic has a hard time to get in.
Does anybody know the difference between some municipal airports will have a home funded or sponsor will fund the AWAS, like we got there in Alpine. But the AWAS in Marfa is FAA sponsored. So I think they pay, the county pays for the contract what Val's Versala or something like that for the service to
By
it.
itself,
Yeah, but the FAA will pay for all the repairs and updates.
kind of like a lease, somewhat like a lease.
I don't know if they lease it or if they just, put it out there at the airport and cover the cost, but I don't understand exactly what the difference is, why some airports have an FAA funded, AWAS versus municipal funded. I don't know if we would be eligible.
Yeah, that's a,
And if they-
qualified for something.
AWAS. I know some control towers are like that. Some of them will have private control towers and some of them will have FAA control towers and how they're set up. I don't know if that's a possibility. That's pretty critical.
That ain't one.
AWAS.
Does the FIA contract for the product control tower?
They
Yeah,
might.
the picture.
I know like
Some of them,
like David Wayne, Works, it's a privately owned airfield. But
Well, like Hobbs always has with contract tower,
mhm.
and, they're pretty lax, they're not like talking to the field. You call them up, I was down here over Eunice one day and I lost my phone. And that was back when you had these telephones, but I had.
Yeah.
So I looked up the number and I called the tower.
Yeah.
30 miles out or something like that, and I called him, he said, yeah, you're clearly in.
Come on in.
I said, well, I ain't gotten there yet. So anyway, it's different, yeah.
Anyway, there could be something to look into. Like I said, I don't understand why that is, but I know some airports have differently funded AWAS systems.
Yeah, you look at-
so you sent a letter of intent to TechStop for a master plan?
Yeah, that was sent, was that the one that was sent, for master plan? I know we did, I thought it had, when was that done?
Here's a letter of interest.
Yeah. Can't remember the date on that.
September 2000.
Is that one was sent? Okay.
That's what this, no,
Yeah. Which we're trying to, I guess we're trying to push it up before the AWAS project, so it would, kind of help with the planning for the location. So I know they wanted it moved over, my idea was that, where that cross section is, that open. On the.
between the runways?
Yeah, but on the further west side, there's that area.
The master plan's a different deal, it's looking forward a few years or so down the road, see what we want to do.
Yeah, with more stuff also. Yeah, well, also with the, I guess, the development, and the property map and layout. And apparently that's a good, they give you quite a bit of information. And the FAA guys stopped in the other day and I was asking about it. Yeah, the safety team. Yeah, I was gonna say, they stopped by, border patrol.
Don't we do, have some input on the master plan layout? Did they talk to us about it or something? See where we want to go with that airport?
I believe so.
No, they weren't, yeah, they weren't here for that. I just asked a question.
But I think
Because of the cost, I was like, or if it wasn't them, it was someone else.
So
That I was
the safety
asking.
team was here just
I was just asking about
Yes, they-
that.
something last week.
last week, sometime before Easter.
They dropped off some little flyers.
Yeah, it's Daniel Bennigan and Craig Patterson.
I think-
They're usually the ones that speak, at the, we used to have before COVID, we have the safety meetings and representative, John Boatwright used to do a lot of them, but now it's Daniel Bennigan, Craig Patterson. They just to promote safety, they have a pamphlet of stuff, they hand out to pilots, mechanics, whatever.
Yeah, they had a couple flyers and I think they stayed at your hangar longer than they did in the office. And I even asked Ray, that's easy. You got it. Well, that was kind of quick. I go, yes, that's easy. So we're not the ones to be afraid of.
We had that safety meeting in ARPA.
Yes, it was these same two gentlemen that came down for that. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're gonna do another one here.
Well, they said normally they do, and they kind of needed to make an appearance because it's been 2 years since they. And they said, but, well, there's still kind of residual of COVID, they didn't want to plan anything. You know, they didn't want to be inappropriate there, so they just keep it out of the, go person to person, I guess. He said they're still very restricted. I don't know if there's something COVID. I think it's still some residual COVID stuff. They're still very restricted.
Any other comment? Motion to adjourn.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
All in favor? We're done.
Like you said, that day meeting, still time to go to work.
There can
Y'all have a good afternoon.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll try.
do the best you can.
Let's see y'all later.
be stopped.
Meeting adjourned.
Yes, we'll back. Wait, it's available back.
Thank you, Abel.
Stop it. You move that up. I don't know what he decided on.
Thank you, Barbara.
Later.
And you wanted to, are we gonna put that on the next agenda, whether have that all together? Or are we just gonna come in with our, it's available online, you get a copy of that.
We got
Right, I don't know if you wanted to do a workshop.